Okay, so let's have a look at the middle section of Sujuk. Okay, so it's a good one to learn because basically he's just playing like a blues scale. And the more, if you're interested in learning how to improvise over that, the more sort of tricks you know around the scale, the better. And this headline is it's full of little tricks to do. So it's good if you're interested in improvising to learn how other people go around the scale. So then you've got a good idea of how to use it as well. Okay, so the first little bit, you play the second fret on the 5th string twice. I'm going to use my first finger there. And then what you're going to be doing, you're going to be sliding to that 6th fret, but with your 3rd finger. So you might want to start on the 4th fret. It doesn't matter where you start from, the 4th or the 5th. And you just, as soon as you hit it, you've got to move to the 6th fret. So you don't want to be going, slow. You got to, as soon as you hit it, you've got to, the main note is hitting this 6 here. So the slide's a little thing just before it. So you got, and then because you're using your 3rd finger there, then you can use your 1st finger to hit the 4. So the very first move is, and then you hit that 4 again there. Now on the next string down, the 4th string below it here, you're going to slide up to this 6. So you got to, I know you've used your 1st finger here, you don't want to move down and slide to it with this 1st finger. You've got to hit that and then move back with your hand to slide with your 3rd finger. Reason being is because you've got a 4 after it. So if you slide with your 1st, you'd have to move back like that. It's more efficient to do that. So slide into that 6 and then the 4 back to the 6. That's the 3 notes at the end of the what you can see there. So you got, okay, so just work on that. And then you got this here, which is, so on the top 2 strings, starting on the top there, 2, 4, and then go to the next string. If you notice, I'm using my 1st and 3rd finger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my 1st finger up to the 4th fret here on the 5th string and go hammer the 3rd, hammer the 6th. So I'm only plucking the 4th fret there and I'm hammering each note, the 4, 5, 6. So, and then you go to the string below it, the 4th string, and you hammer on a 4, 6. And then you play the 4 there on the 3rd string. And then you move up 2 frets to the 6 and you hammer on the 7 and the 8. So you play the 6, hammer on the 7, hammer on the 8. So I'm going to play you this little bit here. So nice and slow. So you got, then you got the 4, 5, 6 hammer. And you got the 4, 6 on the next string. And then you got 4 on the next string. Then bring your hand up. You play the 6 and then you hammer the 7 and 8. Okay, so that very first line, nice and slow. So just learn it nice and slow, you don't have to play it very fast. Okay, so the next bit here is on the next line, got here. So you slide into the 4. Sorry. So when you slide, a good tip, you got to keep the pressure down. You can't play a note and lift off and move to it. You got to, and then you play the 4th fret above that. So, and then on that same string you play the 7th fret, so you might want to bring your little finger to that. Then the string above you play the 6th fret, back to that 2nd string on the 4th fret. So you got okay. So the next bit we have on the 3rd string a 6/4 pull off. So you want to start the 6 with your 3rd finger. See this on the 3rd string. So you play that note and you pull off to the 4. So to get this, you've got to have your finger on the 4th to begin with. So you play the 6, and when you pull that note off, you're ready with the 4 there. So watch. And then that does the same on the 5th string above it, 4th string above it. So you got 3, and then the 4th string, 3rd string, 4th string, and then it goes back to the 3rd string. So here you got. And then to end that little riff there, you've got 6 on the 4th string, and then the 4th fret on the 3rd string. So there you go, that goes. So you got this. Okay. So the next little bit, you're gonna go on the 2nd string and slide to the 4, sorry, not to the floor. So yeah, slide into that 4th fret. It's a good idea to keep your eye on your target of where you slide into and not look at where you're beginning, because you might go a bit too far. So, and then move up to the string above it, the 3rd string, and go 6/4 pull off, 6/4 pull off. So. Up a string to the 6, back down to the 4th. So if you notice when I'm doing these 6 and 4s, I'm using my 1st and 3rd finger. So you got. And then on this string above here, you got 6/4 pull off and hit back on the 6. So you got. And then here on the 4th string, you got the 4th fret. And then you go back to the 5th string, 6/4 pull off, 6/4 pull off. So. And then you go, shift your hand down to the 2nd fret and do a 2/4 hammer, and then a pull off. So when you do a hammer, watch you don't just place your finger on. If it's cutting out, you're not giving it enough welly. And then top string. So here it goes. So I'm going to play the whole of that 3rd line. Again. Okay, so the very last line now starts on this 4th. I'd use my the 4th fret, 4th string. I'd use my 3rd finger, because the next note you're coming up here with your 1st finger, doing a 2/4 hammer. So you go. Okay, and then you got a 2/4 hammer on the 5th string and slide it up to the 6. So you hammer that 4, keep it down, keep the pressure down, slide it to the 6. And then you have on the 4th string, you have a 4/6 hammer, and then to the 4th fret string below, back up to the 6. 4th string still on the 4th fret. And then it ends on an octave, something called an octave, so it's the same note played an octave higher, so the next one higher. So it's these two notes. So your first finger's on the 4th fret, 4th string, your little fingers on the 7th fret on the 2nd string, and you just pick them two. You might want to pick them like that, or what I do is my fingers are muting the strings that I don't want to hear. So the 1st string is muted by this little finger touching it, and this 3rd string is muted by this 1st finger not touching it, and the 5th string, if I hit it by accident, is muted by this finger touching it gently. So the only two notes you can hear when I'm strumming that are these two, your 2nd and 4th string, but I'm actually muting the 1st string, the 3rd string and the 5th string, and then I'm muting the 6th string in case you catch that. Okay, so I'm going to play that last line. Oh. So. Okay, so I'm going to play you the whole of it, but very slowly. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. A lot to get your teeth into. I've done a video in the past where it does the start bit of Sujuk, which is good for you to work on first, and then work on this middle section maybe, and then I'll probably do another video on the chords, because the chords are quite nice to play as well. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much.